It is time to breathe again on the latest Breath of Fresh Air webcast streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You see Patrick Brackett with me, Charles Taylor, and we are back to discuss a few topics here. I guess a little bit out of the norm because to start off, Patrick. Oh, and there is a topic. I forgot to tell you about the gambling. Remember, we were going to talk about the gambling stuff last week. I just remembered. MLB players getting threatened.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was like,
It's all good. I got
with gambling. I don't understand.
I got you, Patrick. So we'll dive into that here in a little bit. But this is the last show to start off. This is the last show we will do before the Olympics get started. So the Olympics are over in Paris this year, and a lot of as is the case with the Olympics when they come around every 4 years. Of course, this one is after 3 years since the one in Tokyo happened in 2021 due to COVID. But lots of storylines to follow. So I'll just open it up, Patrick. What are you looking forward to with these Olympics?
God. I mean, I don't really see a team that's going to really fight the men's basketball. I'd say if I'm more interested in either one of the basketball, I'm more interested in the women's basketball. Just to see what that what the fan base is going to do. You know, I mean, they've never really drawed a crowd that big from the United States. So I'm kind of curious if they're going to be able to draw that crowd this year. I don't know. To me, I think one of the biggest headliners is Simone coming back, man. Like, I mean, she's an older woman, but she's holding her own. I mean, I'd like to see what Miss Biles has in gymnastics, you know. And I mean, my personal opinion, I'm always a huge fan of the gymnastics part of it, men's and women's. So I'm curious what's going to go there. And then swimming. I mean, track and field. I mean, I like the track and field part of it. And then swimming.
Now, before we move on, I'm looking at some of these comments. I don't think this is who I want to say it is from Twitch, but we'll see if he continues to write because he said Patrick the Star is that Jew. So I don't know if it's Dominic. I'm not for sure, but if it is, good to see you again. I'm waiting for the comment that says you hate me. So
yeah, if that comes out, then yeah, that's him. But if it's not, hey, you know, let us know who you are. And you're going to have a lot of fun on here because we interact with everybody that comes on here. So,
yes, we do. And, the thing is, you mentioned Simone Biles, and it's wild because she is in her 20s. But, of course, in gymnastics, that is old. Mm-hmm. Most gymnasts are in their
14, 15, 16 years old.
Maybe early 20s at the oldest. But yeah, I mean, to see her back after what she did go through in the Tokyo Olympics, happened the twisties. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's a scary feeling not to know how or where you're going to land. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing 360s in the air, not knowing that. I mean, just going off of our past experiences where we're either on a basketball court and we get a fall, or like we get undercut, or if we're playing football, we catch a hit and we get knocked up into the air and then we don't know where we're gonna land. It's one of those things where
it hurts.
Yeah. Like, we're gonna get hurt, but we don't know how we're gonna land and what body part we're gonna hurt. But when it comes to Simone Biles and her doing the twisties in the air, off of beams and on the floor exercises and stuff like that. Just in case you're wondering, so I saw the comment right there. We're talking about the Olympics. So he's asking what we're talking about. But yes, I couldn't imagine doing all these flips and stuff in the air not knowing how we're gonna land. So
I mean, I'm 40 years old, bro. I'll watch it and I pull a hamstring and I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I start icing my legs just watching them run around the tracks. I'm like, God, I don't know how they run that fast. But I don't know. It's going to be an interesting Olympics. I mean, I also look at the men's soccer and I'm like, yeah, y'all going to get waxed. So, I mean, that's going to be an early exit.
Real quick, back on Simone Biles for a little bit. For her to come on back and say, hey, I need to get myself right. I need to just fix whatever's going on with me so I can come back better than ever, take that break away, get mental health right. That says a lot for her to be able to do that. And then when you look at the other sports, the men's soccer, we know they're getting destroyed. And then basketball, though, Patrick, I don't think it's going to be that easy. Now, I expect them to win. They have the team. They should win the gold. Absolutely. But, I mean, I think Canada's going to be strong. Spain is always has a good team. Now I'm sitting here. I was looking at the warm-ups.
I mean, I guess the men's U.S. is in the easier. I guess they're really not in the easier pool. I mean, they got Canada and Spain in their pool, right? Because they're in Pool D.
Ooh, I'm not for sure. I don't have to look at the pools. I haven't looked at the pools. I don't want to sit here and act like I looked at the pools.
I want to say they got Canada, Spain, and something like Costa Rica or something like that.
They have Canada and Spain in there. I mean, that's going to be tough to get out of. And I mean, Germany has a good team because they got the Wagner boys who went to Michigan and stuff. So, and so I mean, they're going to have to play. And so again, they should win. They have a team that should be able to handle some business out there and come back with the gold medal. But if they did get beat, say they got to the semifinal and they got beat, wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Because these teams now, a lot of them they have a lot of NBA players that are on there too, guys who played in the league, and now
they had some people drop out. I think they had some people because USA is in Group C, and it looks like they got Puerto Rico. They got Puerto Rico, South Sudan. That's who I was thinking it was, and then Siberia.
South Sudan gave them a battle the other day.
Yeah, they only won by 1 point.
Yeah, so yeah, they're gonna have to figure something out, and I mean, I guess just get the chemistry right. If they come out and not mess around, I know Germany. Was it Germany? Yeah, Germany gave them a battle. They lost by 10, or they lost by 4 points. Yeah, Germany lost by 4 points right after the U.S. barely escaped South Sudan. So I know these are exhibition games, but wait a minute. Is somebody talking mess about your hairline? Don't let them do it. Don't let them. Don't let them do it.
My hairline is on my back now.
Yeah. But
my hair is just went gone.
And then I think the track and field should be interesting too. One thing about track and field is the Jamaicans always have a good team too, and they seem to battle, especially in the sprints.
Yeah.
And I know you have Chicago, so
Oh, don't worry about it.
yeah,
That hairline's been gone for 2-3 years. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Well, they're gonna. So here's the thing. I had thought about getting a transplant,
Did you really?
but I have this feeling that even if I got hair, I'd probably shave it off because I like being bald now. I don't have to worry about nothing. I get up in the morning, put my contacts in, yawn, gone. I don't have to worry about anything. You know what I mean? So even if I had hair, I'd probably shave it off because I enjoy it being bald. The only problem is that, well, obviously, Charles, you know, but I had skin cancer on my head, so I had to have that cut off. But other than that, it's all good. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Even if I got one, I don't know. Probably just shave my hair anyway.
Yeah, and like you said, that you go bald, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You don't have to try to style it. You don't have to try to put it.
I mean, hey, look, I'll call it the way I wish I had a very bad, what's it, alopecia. I wish I had really bad, where all my hair would just fall off, because I hate it. I don't want it on my back. I don't want it on my butt, my legs, nothing. Just let it go. All of it fall out. And then I get tattoos of eyebrows. And then I'd be good.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Oh, you good, man? You good? You ain't gonna offend me any about my bald head. I got 2 kids that make fun of me more than anybody could make fun of me. Those kids give me down the road every day about my bald head, so you ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I promise.
And look, don't worry. Look, they gonna be bald one day too. And I know.
One day I'm gonna take the head, yeah.
And look, and I know. Look, knowing you and your 60, 70-year-old self, you gotta be getting on those things.
Oh, I'm gonna get right back. You're gonna get right back. Ain't gonna be this. That's it. I'll be like, hey. So here, let me talk to you about your bald head real quick.
Now, you remember all that mess you was talking? Remember all that mess you was talking 25 years ago? Yeah.
I got you, bro. I got you. Nah,
but
Connor, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings now, man. It's all good.
So with that, the Olympics, they will be coming up on Friday, and I mean, hey, let's go ahead and get out there and enjoy it. You might have to stay up a little bit late to catch some of the events out there in Paris, or get up early, whichever one. And
I'll catch it on Fox Sports or something. I'm 9 o'clock. I'm out.
They're on NBC.
I'll catch them on NBC Sports then. I'm out.
Yeah.
9 o'clock comes around really fast in the central, bro.
That is true. Well, shoot, and I'm on Eastern time, so you know.
It's only an hour difference, man. I'm out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
That hour makes so much difference, because I'm sitting here and thinking to myself, goodness gracious, it's already late, man. It's 11 o'clock. My gosh.
Yeah, so, I get jet lag. when I go to Georgia, I get jet lag, man. I'm like,
in the car.
In the car, I get car lag. I call it car lag. That time zone change, man. I'm gonna tell you, beats me up.
Well, let's talk about. You know what? Yeah, we'll go here. Let's talk about the NFL real quick, because training camps are starting this week. So, what, Patrick? Besides your Falcons, I know. I know you're trying to see what the Falcons do.
I ain't worried about the Falcons, bro. You know who their quarterback is.
So you didn't already quit?
I already quit.
You already quit? I didn't know you have not already quit.
I cashed them out. And left them a long time ago, bro. As soon as they hit, we got what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now.
So look, yeah, for those who have followed
Kirk Cousins
before, yes, Kirk Cousins. There you go. That's why I just kind of let it be, because I was like, he'll remember this because he can't stand the guy. But so
you like that? No. You like that? No, we don't. Bad move. Bad move. I wish I had. So, like, I want to treat the Falcons like a dog. I want to spray them with like water and hit them with a newspaper and say, "Bad dog. Don't buy him. Bad dog." What's he gonna do? He ain't moving no needle. He ain't moving no needle. Anyway, I'll let you ask your question.
No, because all I was gonna say was, for those who follow the show, everybody knows we will talk about this in much more detail as the season goes along, when we do our college football preview and then the NFL preview as we break down all the divisions. But for now, with training camp starting, all right. So is there anything that you're trying to see in training camp? Or, I mean, since you done disowned the Falcons, is there anything else that might catch your eye?
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm kind of curious of what Penix will do at the Falcons, and the Falcons have a lot of weapons. I personally feel, my personal opinion, the reason why Kirk Cousins is not going to do well is because I honestly think he has too many weapons. And when you have too many weapons, you tend to start trying to figure out who is your favorite weapon out of the too many weapons you have. You know what I mean? It's like an assassin. He has all those guns, but yet he still picks his pea shooter because he wants to test himself. You know what I mean? And that's Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? I'm just like, use them all. Use all your weapons. Both of your running backs, all three of your wide receivers, your 2 tight ends. Use them all. But Kirk Cousins will pick one, because remember when Matt Ryan was there, and Julio Jones is just he was the man. And Matt Ryan would try to thread a needle through 3 different defenders just on that one guy. And me and you sit here and watch them. And we've watched plenty of games together where you got Julio Jones lined up and 3 people on him, and he does a out route and goes down the field. And then you got 2 people over here, nobody even guarding. Nobody even sees them. You don't even see a linebacker on them. Corners over here going, I got both of them, bro. Y'all triple team him. I'll take these 2, because he knows he ain't gonna throw to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I get frustrated with these quarterbacks, especially with Atlanta. They pick this quarterback that he just wants to go to this one wide receiver every single time. Other than that, I guess they do. Well, no, never mind. We haven't been right since Tom Brady stomped us in the face. I wish he would have got roasted more just because of that. I would say I'm kind of interested in the Chicago Bears. Past Atlanta, I'm kind of interested in the Chicago Bears, and this is the reason why. I want to see how right I am about Caleb Williams and how bad he is going to suck.
So before we get on the Bears a little bit, I wanted to go back to the Falcons for a little bit, because you had mentioned the quarterbacks who have been there, specifically Matt Ryan, and he zeroes in on Julio Jones or one receiver. Mm-hmm. So for the Falcons right now, who do you see that receiver being that Kirk Cousins will just start to zero in on? Is it Kyle Pitts? Is it Drake London?
I'm gonna say Kyle Pitts, and it's because I know he's a tight end. Excuse me. I know he's a tight end, but he can play wide receiver, and in Atlanta's offense, he does have routes that he's going to be running. That's at the wide receiver, and we know that. Everybody knows that. I think he's gonna start honing in on Pitts more than he does most of the other ones, because Kirk Cousins, he likes to take his shots downfield, but he always sets his shots up downfield by picking them apart with those little out routes, pew, pew, and then he'll dump it off right there, get everybody pulled in, and then he takes a shot downfield. But the problem is he ain't accurate. Worth crap. He can't. He overthrows, he underthrows. When he underthrows, most of the time he throws interceptions. So I'm gonna say Kyle Pitts, and I don't know as far as like a true wide receiver. I don't know, but Kyle Pitts is who I think he's going to try to target the most.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean Drake London is emerging, and I mean if you are the Falcons, I do think you have to run the football more. Again, we talked about it last year when it came to the Falcons. I don't know why you draft Bijan Robinson and you don't run the ball with him. So so now you have a new coaching staff in place. We'll see if they run the ball more, and if they do, that could make the Falcons more dangerous.
Because now they play two ways.
Yeah,
now they have the ability to run the ball, but they can also throw. And and he's got so many weapons out there. He should be able to throw. And I don't know if they're going to try to make Robinson more of one of those route backs, I guess is what they call them, where they come out of the backfield and go out for routes for a wide receiver.
Yeah,
Texas never used him like that. I don't know why anybody else would. That dude just run it down everybody's throat. That's all he needs to do. Here's your 20 touches, 20 to 25 touches. Run it down their throat, get you 2 touchdowns, and we'll throw for the rest.
Like I'm cool with him going out and catching passes, but not more than him carrying the ball.
Exactly.
We could use him as an outlet. Like if you call some passing plays and there's nobody open down the field, dump it off to him. I'm good with that.
But or if he's on a block where he misses the linebacker or whoever's coming through, he misses that. Dude, just run your slant and get out there and see if you can bail your quarterback out because you botched the play.
You missed the block. Yeah.
Missed the block. Run out here, get the ball dumped to you and see if you can make something happen.
Hey, give him that.
Don't. Just let him run. 20, 25 touches.
And I think also when you brought up the Bears, so to me, I think we're just going to be right anyway, just no matter what, because I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be that good anyway. Now, look, we're going to see it anyway because the TV networks are going to put Caleb Williams in our face. They've already been doing that. So we're going to, and I think they're on Hard Knocks as well. So, so we're going to get to see that. We're going to get to see that wreck. Whether we want to or not. So
did you see that did you see that Slim Shady is in the NFL now?
I did see that.
Yeah. Joe Burrow coming in with a buzzed blonde hair. I was like, hey, chicken Slim Shady's back. All right.
And let's see how he comes back because he's coming off of an injury. But we know how good he is when he is in there. If he's healthy, the Cincinnati Bengals
are dangerous.
Super Bowl contender, I would say.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, and they're going to be, and of course, we're going to talk about that with these divisions later on next month when we do the preview. But yeah, the AFC North, man, my gosh.
Dude, I've been trying to think of how I'm going to pick that when it comes to, when are we picking? 2 weeks from now?
We'll do that the day, I think it'll be a couple of days before they kick off the season. I want to say it's September 10th?
September 10th.
Okay,
well,
yeah.
I can tell you right now, man, that AFC North, man, I have no clue. I've been looking just to see if there's anything that like gives anybody an edge, and I don't see it, man. It's like that is a hard division to be picking.
They're gonna beat each other up, man. And speaking of it, you talk about quarterback battles. So I want to see what the Pittsburgh Steelers do. Are they going to go with Russell Wilson or Justin Fields? We'll see how that turns out.
Neither one of them is going to give you a winning record. But
I think they will because the Steelers have been winning. They have winning records with Kenny Pickett. Both of them.
That's true.
Are better than Kenny Pickett.
That's true. That is true.
But what you need from those quarterbacks, whether it is Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, you just need them. They're your classic. Just manage the games, or that's what you need from them. You don't need them to go out here trying to win the games for you. Pittsburgh has a very good defense. The offensive weapons are there. Of course, the question with them is the offensive line. Can the offensive line improve? Can they actually block for the quarterback and for the running back, Najee Harris? Because that's been the Steelers' problem more often than not. They can't score enough points. They can hold you down to about 17 or 20 on most games, but they struggle to score 13.
Yeah.
And
in that division, if you're struggling to score 13, you might as well just go ahead and post up camp in fourth place, because you ain't coming out of there. And you'll go 0-6 in your division. No. And I'm not saying that the Browns are going to come out looking like all-star studs, but they're pretty freaking good. I mean,
the Browns can win the division if you get any semblance of Deshaun Watson that we saw in that last year in Houston. Now I know we're a few years removed from that, but Cleveland's defense, I mean, they were a top 2 or 3 defense last year. And so if they can get, they were winning games with Joe Flacco, dude. I'm like, so if you can get Deshaun Watson to play decent, all 4 of those teams, Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns, they are pretty stacked, man. And I mean, they are going to, it's going to be, every game they play, it's going to be an absolute battle. All those division games are going to be absolute battles. And of course, you still have Kansas City that you got to knock off in the AFC. But it's going to be tough to come out of that AFC.
Trevor Lawrence getting that huge deal in Jacksonville.
And it's proving time for Trevor Lawrence.
Oh yeah, it's proving time. So if it is that, if we're at that level and it's proving time, I'm highly suspecting that Jacksonville comes out of the South. They should, because with that kind of deal, you're telling Trevor, I'm expecting a deep run. I'm expecting a deep run in the playoffs. I'm expecting big things, and maybe, something crazy, 1 to maybe 2 Super Bowls before you retire. Now, like you said, it's the AFC. There's a lot of teams that's in there that is going to be very hard, with, we'll just say the North, the AFC North. And then you got, we'll see how Aaron Rodgers does at the Jets. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how that goes. He'd probably whine and cry. And
you see my eye roll?
Yeah. But then again, he could surprise you. I don't know. I really don't expect much out of the Jets. I think Buffalo is the team to win in the East. But there was one more team I wanted to point out, the Tennessee Titans. So, those teams are very deep. They're going to play you very well. So if Jacksonville is even wanting to win the South, they better take care of business with Tennessee. You know what I mean?
The AFC South is sneaky good. I mean, look at those teams, because Houston, with what they're coming with and how they finished last year, and then let's see, because they made the divisional playoff round before going out to the Ravens. Yep. And they got CJ Stroud coming back in his sophomore year. They traded for Stephon Diggs. So you give them another receiver to throw to alongside Nico Collins. And their defense is improving with, it seemed like, every game, especially with the Mecco Ryans there as the head coach and kind of having to put hands on the defense as well. And then Indianapolis, they'll get Anthony Richardson back at quarterback, who was playing pretty well before he injured his shoulder in week 4 or 5 of last year. And they'll be in games. I mean, they'll be they'll compete. I'm not going to say the Colts will win the division, but they'll compete. I mean, the Colts will be around 500, maybe a little bit over 500, but they're not going to make it easy for Houston or Jacksonville. And then
No.
you get Tennessee. Tennessee, they just always seem to find a way to be competitive as well. So I think that that division is sneaky good. I'm not going to say it's as good as the AFC North, but it's sneaky. It's sneaky good.
I would say they're probably second, with the East being third and the West being, well, you have the Chiefs in the West. I don't know. That East and West, man, to me, it looks like Kansas City runs away with that, and it looks like Buffalo runs away with the East.
Do the Chargers make any splash with Jim Harbaugh as the coach now?
No. No. I mean, look, minus that year that Jim Harbaugh went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers, name a year he really had success in the NFL. He really hadn't.
No, it was his only time in the NFL.
And
well, as a coach.
As a coach. Now, it took him, what, 10 years to build, to finally win a championship with Michigan last year? It took him 10 years, 15 years. And
yeah, about 8. Yeah.
Minimal 8.
About 8, yeah.
Minimal 8. So here's my thing. Jim Harbaugh got blessed with 2 good teams over the last 2 years. He was blessed with 2 teams that done that. Other than that, Ohio State owned him, except for the last 2 years. Now, he left Michigan. Okay, last 3 years. You're right, because they have beat him 3 years in a row. But other than these last 3 years, Michigan has been owned by Ohio State. So I don't know what he left Michigan, what kind of state he left Michigan in as he was leaving to go to the Chargers. But I don't see him. I don't see the Chargers really making any kind of noise this year. We always say, give a coach 3 to 4 years to make his adjustments, get his offense in, get his defense in, get the right players to run his offense and run his defense, and then we'll see. I don't know if the Chargers are going to give him 3 years, but I say Chargers need to give him 3 years to see what he can do. If he doesn't make a playoff run of some sort in like year 3 to 4, he ain't gonna make one.
And I'm with you with the Chargers. I mean, it seems like everybody, and you're gonna hear it again because we always do. Everybody is wanting to anoint Justin Herbert as the next best thing. We just have to see that to believe that. Yeah. He's shown signs. He's got a strong arm. He has the tools, but when it comes to winning, he's not doing it.
He hasn't done it yet.
No. So we gotta y'all can jump on the Justin Herbert train or stay on the Justin Herbert train. We just never got on. But
I get on a different train.
But you know,
it sure as hell ain't the Kirk Cousins one either.
I'll tell you this, man. Minnesota. I want to see if JJ McCarthy can be good there. Now, of course, going back to the draft, thought he was overdrafted. Didn't think he was a first round grade, maybe a second round grade, if not a third round grade.
I was thinking low second, high third, but he got pulled first. So
yeah, and you know how it is. You know how it is with quarterbacks. I mean, because you play the position of quarterback, you're gonna go high because everybody wants to try to get a quarterback. Yeah. But I would say this for JJ McCarthy: out of the 6 quarterbacks that were drafted in the first 12 picks. I think JJ McCarthy might have landed in the best situation. We know Caleb Williams, he went to the Bears. The Bears are trying to get right, but we're not expecting too much from the Bears. Jaden Daniels getting drafted by the Washington Commanders could be a good situation. We'll see. Drake May went to the New England Patriots. The Patriots are rebuilding right now. And then you have Bo Nix go to Denver. They're rebuilding. Denver's a mess. And then Penix went to the Falcons. And we'll see if he could take that spot at some point from Kirk Cousins. But McCarthy going to Minnesota. McCarthy going to Minnesota is interesting because you have an offensive play caller in Kevin O'Connell, who of course is the head coach, and he was the offensive coordinator for the Rams when they won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. So you have him there, and you got Justin Jefferson to throw to. So with
who's the offensive coordinator at Minnesota?
I think Kevin O'Connell calls those plays as well.
Oh, so he's the one that calls, which makes sense. I mean, I agree with you. I think out of everybody, he has the best scenario for success. And don't get me wrong. Look, I mean, even though I talk a lot of trash about Caleb Williams, and Bears are not going to give that dude the right tools. And I hope for him. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I hope for his failure. I just think it's going to happen. I mean, I wish the best. I hope he comes out and does his thing. I really do. I want him to be successful in everything that he does. You know, I just don't see it, not because of the lack of talent, because he does have a talent. I just don't think he's going to be successful because I don't think the people around him can teach him what he needs to know. And that's no fault of his own. I mean, look what happened to Justin Fields. Talented dude. There were some problems, and we all knew what those problems were. He couldn't read a defense. And that was made quite obvious year one. You know what I mean? But if he could have read defenses, when he did read a defense and he ended up throwing touchdowns and doing the right things and doing what he needed to do. But the kid can't read defense.
That's kind of what I see with Caleb Williams, though. That's the thing. Like, you have to be able to do something from the pocket. That and that comes with the mindset. So if you're that player, if you're that quarterback, and you're coming in, you've been getting by on your athletic ability, which is okay in college because in most cases, especially if you are Justin Fields and you're playing for Ohio State, and you are Caleb Williams and you're playing for Oklahoma and USC, in most cases, you're going to have more talent than the teams you step out on the field against.
Yep.
So you can go and run around outside, make splash plays, and run backwards 20 yards to run forward another 10 and launch this 50, 60-yard pass and find some
to a wide receiver that can run a 4.3 because the corner can't run, but a 4.7. But here's the problem. That same wide receiver that's running a 4.3 in college, he's getting matched up against a corner that can run a 4.2.
Yeah, everybody has talent in the NFL.
Everybody.
So you have to be able to do multiple things to be successful. That's going to take you watching film. That's going to take you doing some study. That's going to take you spending a few extra minutes and maybe extra hours mastering your craft. Because if not, then you're going to see Caleb Williams try to run outside, and there's going to be a linebacker or a defensive end waiting for him to smash him.
Yep. and here's what's crazy about those linebackers. Them suckers know how to take angles.
Yeah.
And they can run a 4.4.
Yeah, exactly.
So, hey, when you got a linebacker that can run a 4.4 and take angles, you're not escaping out of the pocket just because you got athleticism. So that linebacker has athleticism too. So that's what I'm curious about Caleb Williams. That's what I'm curious about actually all of them. But you're right, when back on Minnesota, you're right with McCarthy because he has the best scenario. He has a coach that can teach him because that offensive coordinator has won a Super Bowl. Now he's a head coach and he can help with that. You know, and obviously they're going to bring in a quarterback coach, but it's only going to be the right one because they're going to expect him. They're spending a lot of money for this guy. So they're going to expect him to hit the ground running. So they're going to have to put the right scenario. Chicago doesn't have that money to do that. They're paying all this other money to everybody else, and they can't bring in the right people. Therefore, Justin Fields fails because he doesn't know how to read defenses. And now we're going to look at Caleb Williams doing the same exact thing. And it's unfortunate for these guys because they do have a talent. And we do wish them the best. We hope that they have a successful career. But if you don't put the right training and the right tools in place, you're just going to keep repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again. And these boys, everybody's like, well, Justin Fields was a dud and Caleb Williams was a dud. It's not because they were bad quarterbacks. It's because the people that's teaching them how to play a quarterback is the dud. And you keep him in, that's a problem. That's what I have a problem with.
Yeah, the coaching, like with the Bears, when Justin Fields was there, they had 3 different offensive coordinators, and it's hard for any quarterback to get.
How's he going to be successful?
Yeah,
there's no way. That is a recipe for failure, disaster, and that's the reason why he's in Pittsburgh now.
Well, Patrick, we're going to come back to football as the weeks get closer, and be breaking down. We'll see what comes out with training camps and what storylines, what fights happen, and joint practices. Be fun. But let's jump into the MLB for a few minutes. And we had teased at the beginning when we were talking about the gambling aspect. Now, we know gambling in sports, it is here. It's here to stay. It is all over the place. You turn on any channel during any sporting event, and it is a commercial about MGM Bet, FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever other betting. ESPN Bet, just bet this, bet that, just everything bet. So we know that ain't going anywhere. When you have money involved, things are very, very likely to get hairy. And it was really interesting to me hearing MLB's commissioner, Rob Manfred, talk about how he is worried about players' safety in the way of them getting threats if something doesn't happen. Like
he hasn't been worried about player safety since he took over.
This is true because we know Rob Manfred is, he's not that great of a commissioner. We have just go back and look at the shows we have done, and we're not fans of Rob Manfred. But in this particular instance, Patrick, I do think this is all right. We know when it comes to these press conferences, it's about you're basically saying the company statement. But I do think this is legit. This part is legit because when money is involved, people do crazy things. Absolutely. And if you go and you bet however much money it is, could be 5 figures, could be 6 figures, maybe 7 figures, depending on the person. But if you lay this bet on a dude in baseball's case that he was going to hit, let's just say he's going to hit 3 home runs, and maybe you did it parlay style, and you missed by, let's say, feet because he hit 2 home runs. Maybe you bet on him to hit 3 home runs, but he came up short on the warning track.
Or so somebody robbed him.
Yeah. So that now
that pissed me off.
Yeah, so now people will get on their keyboard warrior status and start to throw these threats at players. And I think this happens sports wide across it. And so
remember Nick Chubb?
Yeah, I know you was mad about that. Yes.
I was mad at him. I was mad at him. He cost me $200,000.
But Patrick, did you get on your keyboard warrior status and find Nick Chubb's X or whatever it is now?
No, because I understood why he done it. Just because I wanted him to score the touchdown, which would have gave me more points because FanDuel was, I was number 1 all the way through. I just needed him to score a touchdown to solidify it. And he ran out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And I was like, I get it. I understand. He wants to run more clock time off the clock, win the game. I get it. Just run it in, dude. Give me my points.
Selfishly,
yes. You want to win.
Yeah, and I think that it talks about the bigger picture. So, I mean, I think because I was one of those people who was all about fantasy football. I would say I was on a good 10-year run
Hmm.
where I was in multiple fantasy football leagues. It at least 3 per year. And then I found myself saying, man, you know what? I just want to sit back and enjoy the game. And
Yeah.
for those 10 years, I've been sitting down looking at these games. Now, obviously, I'm rooting for my team. My team's the San Francisco 49ers, for those who don't know, in the NFL. And I would find myself just watching games to see if what this player would do. If I got this receiver that I'm counting on to get big points, that's what I'm watching the game for. And then if he drops a pass, I'm like, oh my God. Even if he played for the Dallas Cowboys, I'm like, oh my God, he dropped that pass. I would say this because I had Des Bryant one year and Des Bryant was beasted. But but I'm like, oh, he plays for the Cowboys. And
Yeah, I
so
never pick him up. I don't care
and
how good you are. You play for Dallas, you ain't get enough.
yeah, and so that's what that would be the go-to. But even still, I'm still like, man, get these points. Look, Dallas lose, Des, catch me 2-3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And
I need
so
you to catch me 3 touchdowns like Dallas scored 21 points, and then Dallas needs to lose 24
yeah.
20.
So
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking about all these crazy scenarios in my head. And I got to a point where I said, you know what? I just want to sit down and enjoy the game. Now we could do it like how you said you've done it. Play a little parlay, go on FanDuel, put together a team for a week or so, but you're not really in a league. Um,
Well,
I
there's
just
many reasons. I don't like that league. I don't like the league version of it because now it's more of a job. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like when you're in those leagues, you got to put together this team, and then somebody gets injured, right? Then you got to worry about trading. What's in the reserve pool or free agency? I guess I don't. Or I really like to have this guy, and I see that the person that I had already played, he has a wide receiver that he's never using, so I'm gonna try to trade to get him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for all of that. You know what I mean? So if somebody gets hurt in my lines on FanDuel, I'm like, ugh, that sucks, man. And truthfully, I'm sorry for him because like I really don't want him to get hurt. Nobody wants anybody to get hurt. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. Then second, I'm like, oh, that's gonna break my freaking line because I really needed his points. But come tomorrow, there's no obligation. I just pick somebody else. FanDuel gives me that ability. I like that, you know.
and don't have no garbage commissioner either.
And it doesn't have no garbage commissioner. And let me make something completely clear. Breath of Fresh Air does not promote FanDuel in any way. So YouTube,
Nope.
do not ban this video because we're not promoting FanDuel. It's just the one I use.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I've been on multiple ones, so like I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I've been on ESPN Bet, I've been on DraftKings, I've been on FanDuel, and FanDuel is kind of one of my favorite ones. It just is. I like how everything is really simple, but it's also my very first one. So, if that says anything.
yes. So yeah, we're not. Yeah, no paid promotions over here. None of
Yeah.
that. This is just talking about our personal experiences with.
And as soon as Nick Chubb stepped out of bounds, I haven't played since.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, oh, Nick. I was like, Bulldogs don't do that.
Yeah.
I know you're a Brown now. You're a Bulldog. Bulldogs win.
Just our personal experiences of what we have seen in our years. And I mean, look, these players, they already go through a lot just from playing the game. And then they have to worry about crazy fans getting upset if some bets didn't go through. Now they're over here threatening them. You cost me X amount of money, whatever, $20,000, $30,000.
And all they're doing is their job.
Yeah, right.
They're just doing their job. I mean, granted, there's probably some payoffs in there somewhere. Hey, like, I need you to strike out at least twice, so I can clear my $250 million, that kind of thing. Yeah. I betted that the White Sox would make it to the World Series, so I need y'all to lose.
I can pay my debts. So, but nah, man. I mean, I just thought that was a little bit interesting to hear that from the commissioner, because I think out of all commissioners, this is the guy to kind of address what they call the elephant in the room. This has been happening, and if this is Rob Manfred's way of saying this is a problem and could be a problem, particularly when you have the Pete Rose situation that has happened, then I can understand if there is some sensitivities to it for baseball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's crazy that he's the one that addressed it, but I mean,
out of all commissioners.
Out of all commissioners, yeah. I think it's crazy. He's the one that addressed it, because normally it would be the NFL that addresses this because of public outcry. But somebody needed to address it. I mean, look, you can't. How does this guy? And if he even cared, how does the center fielder for the Cincinnati Reds give two craps about your $20,000?
Yeah. Hey.
Why would he care? He's out there trying to win a game. If it's not rigged by any means. I do have to put that out there just in case. Whoa, it might be rigged. Okay, maybe it is, maybe it's not. Who cares? I don't give a crap. What I'm saying is he's out there doing a job, and he does not care about my $20,000 that's on the line because so and so hit. I need him to hit 3 home runs so he can win me $25,000 because I put $5,000 on this. You know what I'm saying? He could care less. All he wants to do is win the game. So he goes out there and he plays the best that he can.
So wait a minute, Patrick. No conspiracy theories, though.
Well, that's the reason why I said if it's rigged. I'm a conspiracy theorist. Come on. I will claim that all day long. I know the government's out to get me. That's the reason why I don't trust anything with the government. I don't care who it is. I don't care who's president. I don't trust anything.
Well, this will be another topic we come back to going forward. But before we get out, let's talk about the WNBA All-Star Game. So here's what's funny to me on two fronts. Number one, so the WNBA All-Stars beat the Olympic team. I think they won by 8 points. I want to say it was 117-109. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese were on the All-Star team, and people automatically went and turned this into, she showed them she should have been on the Olympic team. Number one is it's the All-Star Game. Stop. Number two, number two, I must say that All-Star Game was somewhat competitive, meaning these players actually showed an effort, like, hey, like we out here, we playing. Unlike all the other All-Star games that we have seen over the course of the last 20 years, where it's just outright exhibitions of, she being a better flag football. So I mean,
well, did the last NBA All-Star? Did you see that crowd? It was just a barrage of threes.
It's a glorified scrimmage.
It was a half-court shot. That's all it was. Who can hit the longest half-court shot? Well, I hit 9 of them in a row. What you got? It's Dame time. Like,
glorified warm-ups.
Exhibition game. That's all it is. Might as well do away with All-Star Game. I don't even want to see it anymore.
Yeah, the All-Star games are. They're a waste of time now. They are.
Except for the WNBA, it was pretty good.
That one was actually pretty good. I watched a good little bit of it, and the players are out there. They're competing. They're playing defense for once. I mean, and look, the WNBA, they play defense. I'm not trying to say they don't play defense, but considering this is an All-Star game,
It's the only league.
it doesn't happen often. But I just thought it was so funny to hear people saying, "Yeah, Caitlin Clark showed them. She showed them she should have been on the Olympic team." And that
Who's
whole
to
thing,
say that you didn't turn it down?
right? And that thing to me. So if the coach or the committee had their roster already set and they didn't see Caitlin Clark as a worthy person to be on the team, all right, whatever, so be it. But also, I guess if you're looking at it, because people will say it's a marketing thing. If you have one of your biggest stars, and I mean, Caitlin Clark is the biggest star, so you would think you would want her on the Olympic team to continue to drive up the markability of women's basketball. I can understand that. But at the same time, your job as the committee is to get the best team you feel will win. And if Caitlin Clark is not one of those people, that's their decision. That's their choice. I wasn't one of these people who was screaming rigged because Caitlin Clark was not on the team. She'll be on many Olympic teams.
I'm sure she will. And on top of that, she didn't really play that well.
No, yeah, in the All-Star game, no, she had like 4 points. She had a number of assists, but
10.
yeah,
But Angel Reese did better playing time than she did. And then who is this? Here, let me pull it up. A right?
Mm-hmm.
She's the guard for the Dallas Wings.
Yeah.
Boy, she lit it up. I mean, lit it up. No, she only had points, but 34 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals.
And that's what you said, Patrick. And that's what you said. Caitlin Clark had 4 points. So really, did she show
that she should have been on there?
Not really. No. So I just
0 for 7 at the 3-point line. Come on.
So I don't like. Are we really thinking about what we're saying before we?
Yeah, let's really think about it because she didn't show up.
No,
she did not show up for the All-Star game.
You're right.
But let me tell you, Angel Reese did.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make a statement, you might want to say, they should have thought about Angel Reese. If you're gonna do it for Caitlin, you gotta say it for Angel. Now, we said many things about, well, if Angel Reese is gonna be this way, then she needs to stop whining about it or blah 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 whatever, right? But
she plays.
But she plays. She plays. She's out there. She did try to pat her stats, but so did Caitlin Clark. You know what I mean? They all gonna do it. And I mean, believe me, if I'm out there and I'm like, I got the ball and everybody's down on the other end and they're like, hey, Patrick, shoot the ball and score 2 points. And I have got 8 points. Yeah, I'm going to pad my stat and I'm going to put like 2 points in. Yeah, absolutely. I don't give a crap and I'll do it again.
Oh, so we got Andrew Bynum.
Andrew Bynum. I'll be like,
you're a stat pad.
Got my triple double. What'd you get? And if they asked me, I wouldn't even hide from it. Say, hey Patrick, did you pad your stat? Hell yeah, I did. I was 2 points away from a triple double. 9 people were down there on that court, and all I got to do is hit a layup. Hell yeah, I did. And
you score for the other team.
I don't care where I scored it. if I'm down a rebound, I'll be like.
On that note,
and I'll hold it on the football. I'll be like, what?
On that note, that concludes this edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast.
Absolutely, I'd pad my stats.
That is what we are breathing on for tonight. Y'all make sure y'all visit the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. Patrick, what is coming up on Bro Epic, or what is out on Bro Epic as well?
Well, we released our baseball. It was a blitz ball challenge that we released. We had a lot of fun on that one, dude. So when you come down, we got to do some blitz ball. We have a hide and seek episode that's coming up. I'm about to start editing on that this week. And then in 2 weeks, I have some family coming down, and we're going to do Bro Epic 1v1s tournament style with home run derby, 3-point shot, and field goals.
All right. So, yeah, look forward to that and be looking for it when Patrick drops those episodes. And he also has a good amount of shorts that are coming out too. So make sure you catch those shorts as well and get that quick abbreviated version of the show.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun and make you want to go watch the show. We have a lot of fun out there. So we do it from all ages, kids all the way to adults, men, women. It don't matter. We're just out here trying to have some fun. That's it.
Well, all right. Well, hey, everybody be on the lookout for that. And until I guess next week, we gonna get back before Breath of Fresh Air, we'll be getting back to doing some of these shorties as well for that. So you on the lookout for that, for the compliment of the show. And we're just ratcheting it up for the fall when these football
it's about to come.
Yeah,
about to get hit hard.
Yeah.
Be ready. Be ready.
So everybody take care. Enjoy the Olympics that are coming up. It's an exciting time. You have football about to start up. We talked about the NFL training camps. College football is doing their media days if they haven't done them already. So everybody enjoy. Let's get ready. And we will talk to y'all this time next week. All right. Take care.